everybody. So this is the Unit 5 Digital Interactive Notebook on connecting algebra with geometry. And this unit is pretty much about being able to find the slope of parallel and perpendicular lines, distance formula, midpoint formula, and then proving quadrilaterals and triangles are their shapes using parallel and perpendicular lines. So we are going to, I'm going to show you, this is your table of contents, so you can see what pages are going to be here. These are all the vocab words that are being used in this unit. Here are the skills you're going to be able to do, and you can see some images that I inserted that goes along with it. So let's first talk about distance and using the distance on a graph. So I have the right here. Here are the steps. You can plot each point on the coordinate plane if you choose to. You don't have to use the points on the coordinate plane. Use these 2 points to form a right triangle because we're going to use Pythagorean theorem, which is right here. A squared plus b squared equals c squared to find the distance instead of doing the actual distance formula, because this is something you're going to have to use anyway when you get into Math 2. So you might as well just practice and use it now as well. So I'm not going to draw the triangle. I'm going to use just the equation, but you can draw the triangle to help you figure out the distance from the graph. But I'm going to show you also how to do take the coordinate points themselves and then find the distance. So move myself. There we go. So I'm going to write the point. So this coordinate point, this first one is 1, 2, 3, 4. -7, -4. And then the second point is 5, 2. Okay. And then you're going to take the distance between the x's, which would be the a, and then the distance between the y's, which would be your b, and then you can find the length between them, which is going to be your c. So the distance from -7 to -5 is -12. Okay. It honestly isn't going to matter because when you square it, it's going to end up being positive anyway because distance is always positive. So you really don't need the negative, but just so you know, it is negative. And then we're going to do -4 minus 2, which is -6. Again, don't need the negative because it's going to end up being a positive. So now I can do -12 squared plus -6 squared equals c squared. Okay, so now we have to simplify that further. Okay, I'm just going to expand this out a little bit. And just let me shrink this down a little bit. Okay, so now I have 144, which is 12 squared, plus 36, which is 6 squared, equals c squared. And then 134 plus 36, I'll make sure I tell you right, I'm being lazy today, is 180. Just gonna put it over here, equals c squared. All right, now to figure out the distance, so you have, this is 180 equals c squared. So we need to get just c, the distance between these 2 points. So to do that, we are going to do square root because that's the opposite of squaring something. So I'm going to square root 180 equals square root c squared. And what that happens is it's going to undo that square that's attached to the c, so then you'll be able to have just the distance. So the square root of 180 is 13.4, and then a bunch of decimals, so I'm just going to round it to 13.4. So my distance is 13.4, and a lot of the times your distances will end up being a decimal, and that's okay. Okay. So again, this is what I did. I went ahead and labeled my 2 coordinate points. Remember, you count over and then up or down to label it. X comes first, then Y. Then you take the distance between the X's, and that's what I did here. And then you square both of the numbers. The negatives will go away. And then you add the 2 numbers, and then you square root that to find the distance between the 2 points. And that is essentially Pythagorean theorem. And that's the same thing as finding the distance between 2 points. So your job is to do this problem right here. And then you have this whole bunch of space to do your work. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.